I was one of the majority who stopped watching Gozyuger after they terminated the contract of Maya Imamori, the actress for Sumino, Gozyunicorn. It has been a whole month since that incident and we still haven't forgiven her talent's agency, Seju, for this action. Currently, we are approaching episode 42, and with Maya unfortunately getting recast by Toei, now Sumino is being played by Koha Kushida, the actress who played Haruka, Oni's sister from Dawn Brothers. Even though we can definitely tell the new scenes are just her getting composed into the episodes via rotoscoping or green screen, I understand that Toei is also getting screwed over by Seju at this point. I will not be getting even further about the situation with Maya Imamori and why her contract was terminated by Seju. I would recommend watching Keza's video on this matter, linked below or at the top right corner. In this video, I just want to share my first impression of watching Gozyuger episode 37 since that is the first episode where they are forced to not be able to show Maya as Sumino to appear in the Gozyuger media. This video will use a different format than the one I usually do with our Tokusen series, so let's get into it. The episode starts with Tegajun generating a new Bradan member, Ribbon of Destruction, who is supposed to be Bouquet's little sister. She actually intended to give her a humanoid form, but something happened during the process. She then immediately ran off to explore the world before we transition into Goju Polar doing some side quests, and of course charging people for it until we get the conflict of the episode. His robe went missing. Yeah, that's the premise of the entire episode. The monster of the week is Fashion No One, where he's the only one who could dictate whoever fits his fashionista standard. Also, stupid concept, since the main focus was supposed to be on Ribbon. Before we continue, let's take a look at the opening first. They are deliberately removing any scene that shows Sumino, and they just replace the majority of the scenes with clips from the episode, which is so unbearable to watch. This will continue until episode 40, which sucks so bad. Back to the episode, Ribbon is just exploring the world and labeling stuff that she finds cute with a ribbon of her own, before she finally stumbling upon Kumade's rope and then she took off. Hoero once again fired from his job because he wanted to help the victims of the No One. Even though we are inside the cafe, Sumino is nowhere to be seen. What we could see is Kumade getting drunk from drinking bottles of honey. Yeah, this is very stupid. Bear Kuma then took off, trying to find the missing rope until he found it in Ribbon's possession. After that, they had a tug of war for said rope. On the other hand, we have a segment with the main members trying to give the others their own definition of fashion. It's a funny scene until we get to Kinjiro's recommendation. It's really weird because why would Kinjiro suggest a slick and high-class look since he would have suggested a Showa or outdated look? Many believe that this suggestion was supposed to be Sumino's because it fits her character. We then cut back to Kumade finding out Bear Kuma beaten up because he was trying to get back his rope while only able to get a small patch of it. We then get a flashback on how Kumade gave life to Bear Kuma, and also a confirmation that the gap between Kumade winning the previous ring battle to the current one is 20 years and not 1000 years. Also, it's such a nice scene to solidify their bonds even more. The only highlight of the episode is the confrontation with the No One because Kumade then shows up with a hand-sewn rope that he made with Bear Kuma all night. Which is also the point of the episode, which is just to sell both robes on the Bandai store. Also fun fact that the model for Kumade's rope, in this case, is Francesco Akira, which is a pro wrestling from New Japan. The more you know. Even during this scene, you can clearly tell that Sumino is either being blocked by Kumade via rotoscoping or cropped from the frame. It's so unnatural to see the other members take off their black robes while Sumino is nowhere to be seen. In fact, in the preview image, we can see that Sumino was supposed to be in this scene with them. While in this topic, before this episode aired, Maya was removed from the cast section on their website, as seen in this image. Even the transformation cuts off Maya since they only showed Kumade's transformation and removed the other members. After the fighter introductory scene is finished, we finally got to see Gozyunicorn alongside the others to fight the monsters. But since they're not allowed to use Maya's likeness because Seju has terminated her contract, it means that they could not also use her voice, which means that they replace her voice with someone else. I tried to find the voice actress but I haven't been able to. Long story short, Ribbon joins the battle with the big robot, Hoero summons Tegazord Akatsuki and beats her, Kumade did a double team with Bear Kuma to finish off the No One, After that, 𝑻𝒐𝒌𝒖𝑺𝒊𝒏𝒔 found Ribbon and she said that she didn't want to play with the rope anymore. 𝑻𝒐𝒌𝒖𝑺𝒊𝒏𝒔 realized whose rope it belonged to and decided to return it to 𝑘umade, since she owes him from that episode where she lost her memory. And yeah, the episode ended with 𝑘umade, Bearkuma, and Gozyuger laughing their ass off while we faded into white without a preview for the next episode because they could not prepare one in time. I believe that they were still re-editing the episode to remove any Sumino appearances while also reconstructing the clips to make a new continuity. It's just so unfortunate that what was supposed to be a nice story about 𝑘umade and Bearkuma rekindling their friendship with some backstories now will only be remembered as the first instance of Maya Imamori getting removed from Gozyuger. It's also just stupid that Sentai is ending with a quote-unquote scandal, even though I wouldn't call it that, which could have been avoided at any time, and not to Maya's fault. I've seen clips of the next episodes, and until Shida appeared on episode 40, all scenes including Maya as Sumino are deleted from the episodes, only leaving the Ghost Unicorn suit in the fight scenes. It's also unfortunate how episode 38 was supposed to be a Sumino-focused episode, and now being reconstructed to be a Kuon and Hoero-focused episode, whereas episode 39 is a recap episode, meaning the original episode 38 is a lost media. I'm showing just some screen caps of the preview because I don't want to get a strike from Toei. But as you can see, we could have gotten Sumino with the 𝑬𝒔𝒔𝒂𝒚 sword, from which would look fantastic on her. Later I found out that they reused this scene for the recap episode in episode 39, but without any context for why Gozu Unicorn is using the 𝑬𝒔𝒂𝒚 sword doesn't feel satisfactory. I will never forgive Seju and the people online who bullies Maya for such a minor conflict. But who I hate the most are the people who voices their anticipation because they want her to appear either on a Kuravir magazine or on an adult video. You guys are the scum of the earth. She's literally just turned 19. What the hell is wrong with you people? And just a reminder, do not direct your hate towards Shida, who is playing Sumino currently, because she's just doing her job. Your hatred should be directed to Maya's talent agency, Seju. All of this could have been prevented if her agency actually tried to defend her when these unsourced allegations were made towards her. Instead, they decided to find another allegation that could justify them to terminate her contract, which is such a cowardly thing to do. It did not matter whether any of the allegations were true, they just needed an excuse to get rid of her, and I cannot stop hating Seiju for this. It's just so annoying that literally the previous episode had a scene with a gag where Kinjiro's old friend, who is old, tried to invite Kinjiro, who is a minor, to have a drink, like the old days. If you know the context of this whole scenario, whether from looking it up on the internet or from Keza's video I showed before, you should know how fucked up that was, whether it's a crazy coincidence or not. There were some reports that both TV Asahi and Toei are not going to seek damage from Maya and instead to Seiju, because this situation has cost them a lot of money, from possibly losing sponsorship and investment from the stakeholders to the constant rewrite, re-edit, and reshoot to replace any appearance of Maya with Shida. Right now, all we can do is voice our support for Maya on our social media. She has deactivated her accounts, but that does not mean that we have to stop our support. There's a hashtag movement on Twitter with hashtag support Maya Imamori, which is filled with kind words and fanarts for Maya and Sumino as a character. Sumino is still my highlight for this season as a whole. Her character is so fascinating, and a shout out to Maya Imamori for bringing this character to life. Fuck the haters, fuck those people who hate her just because of her racial background, fuck those people who believe and ate the allegations to fuel their hatred towards her, and finally fuck you to those people who publicly stated that they wanted to sexualize her despite being a minor. To end this video, I think Keza sums it up very well on her video as follows.
But a message to Maya Imamori, I'm sure she will never see this, but please know, you have fans in the West who grieve your loss, who grieve that you are not there in the show anymore, who will feel affected personally by your disappearance because they love your character, but also they love you. The people who have done fan art shouldn't be ridiculed because of their love for her. They do it because they want to show that there's so much more to this. I just want people to remember that she's also human. Maya Imamori isn't just Goju Unicorn. She is something so much more. She's a human being. She's a woman. She is growing into her own life. She's a powerful woman. And people love to see the downfall of a powerful woman. Because it makes them feel strong? I don't know. Just know that I will always stand behind Maya Imamori. And I will always talk about the injustice that she, along with many others, have dealt with.